Rahul Kamir, Punch Out Boxing. I am here with the pilgrim who's in the land of pilgrimage, Saudi Arabia, Jack McGann. Back to the kingdom, just days away from another big fight. First of all, how are you? I believe you had a training camp all the way in Albuquerque, Mexico. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. A ways away in New Mexico, Albuquerque. I was there from the 2nd of Jan. I went out and then I've been in Saudi for 2 days now. So I think by the time I get home, it'll be like the 9th of March. So it's this
Mhm.
decent little stretch away. But um I've had one of the best camp of my life and I'm in top shape. So it's it'll have been worth it, you know.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, tell us about this training camp over to New Mexico. How'd that come about? What brought you to that decision to go over there?
So in the world of MMA, one of the best, most famous gyms you can get is the Jackson Wink Gym. Greg Jackson's gym out in New Mexico, Albuquerque, and they've created champions from day one. And with me connections to the MMA world, we got a chance to go over there and train. And we was boxing predominantly, but I was also training in MMA there as well.
Mhm.
And it was just nice to get away and just have a camp where there was no distractions. I was away from home, and it just adds that bit more to the training. So yeah, that's how it come about, and it was all perfect.
I imagine you got a few hard Latino guys to spar with while you were out there.
Yeah, he was all come forward Mexicans. So for Louis Green, it was good sparring.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll come on to Louis in a sec. But just recapping, of course, back in October, you had that sensational win over Duran Jr. I think there was a rumor that Alfie, just before the fight, your manager Alfie said, "Yeah, we need a big capture the imagination performance here," and you delivered. Is that true? Did Alfie whisper that to you, and did it put
I don't
more
know.
pressure on
Alfie whispers a lot of things, so maybe he did and I missed it.
you?
Um, but as long as we got the performance which we did, it was fantastic. And as I said, I've said a few times that week's one of the best weeks of my life,
Mhm.
not just career wise, just in general for the experience it was and for the team. And I was just thinking the whole time, if it doesn't go out, if it doesn't that week, the way it ended it was the only way it could have ended. You know, with just the icing on the cake to get such a great knockout and a great performance. So, yeah, it was pretty perfect from start to finish.
Yes, indeed. And as I said, captured the imagination and got invited back. So His Excellency was impressed, obviously.
Yeah, well, it's the power of the knockout, isn't it? People want to see it again, and if there's one thing I can deliver when it comes to fighting, it's knockouts. I've proven that throughout my whole career. So I'm usually a fan favorite,
Hmm.
but I feel like with this one, I'll definitely get a lot more exposure than the others. So if I can if I put in a great performance again, then a lot more people turn their ears up and start noticing a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. There was talk that you were now the mandatory for the coveted British super welterweight title that Sam Antwi won. There was rumors that that fight was going to be on this card, and we've seen the precedent before that the board will sanction British title fights in Saudi. Can you tell us what happened with that? Was it ever in discussion?
Yeah,
You
it was on. So basically, Channel 5 won the purse bids back in November, and back in November, and um, the fight was scheduled to take place in London, March 1st. And then, sorry, it's messy. Trying to get it all though. Yeah, March 1st, and then they tried to change the date round a couple of times. So then they lost their position um with the purse bid because they never stuck to the contract. So then it went to whoever was second in the purse bid, which was Frank. So then um Antwi's team and everyone else signed up for okay, well we'll do it March 8th in Saudi. it was supposed that's but I was supposed to be fighting with the British against Sam Friday, not Louis Green.
Hmm.
Um, and then signed up to it, and then about a week later, after that, just decided he wanted to vacate the belt, which you don't really get because the EBU's have just been fought for. There's no I don't see where he's going next. And to be on such a great card, to defend your British the same date and everything which you were meant to, I just don't get why you turn that down. But anyway, he hasn't, and now mandatory for the British anyway against Sam Gilly. The purse bids for that's up on the 12th of March. But that's the position I was in last time. I had the fight booked, and I cut, and like 2 weeks later, whatever it was, the purse bids were up for me and Ansby. So it's the same again. I'm not even thinking about that until after Friday.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. As you said, very strange decision from Team Antwi.
Yeah.
You don't get a much bigger platform than
Yeah.
you're going to experience on Friday night. But Louis Green it is, and I guess he's been called in off the back of his last fight with Sam Gilly. I don't know if you saw it, Fight of the Year contender. He's a real danger man now. Louis, he's gone away from home a couple of times as the away fighter and turned over unbeaten prospects. Sam Gilly, he himself and his coach Rod said that he really is just about one of the toughest guys you could ever come across. And they said, Rod, Sam Gilly's coach said, there's real danger here for you. Louis Green, he'll go anywhere. And like I said, he'll be a danger.
Yeah, well, he's a proper fighting man. He's not scared to go into someone's backyard and take on tough opponents, and he's been the 12 rounds and the 10 rounds plenty of times, and always put on a top fight. So I'm under no delusion that this is going to be the toughest fight in me, toughest test of my career, and I've trained accordingly for that.
Mm-hmm. Do you see anything in him stylistically that you think you can exploit? What are the hard things about it? Is it his physical traits that he's just so granite, hits hard, relentless?
He's just a tough guy who comes forward and is a bit like a Terminator who just doesn't really stop.
Mm-hmm.
And the losses that he's had apart from that one stoppage, it's been where people have just outboxed him and no one's been able to stop that pressure from Louis. So yeah, I know what I like to imagine. I know what I'm getting with Louis. I don't think he's gonna pull out a new bag of sticks, but he's definitely, as I said, it's going to be the toughest test of my career, and I'm fully prepared for whatever he brings.
Indeed, you want to get to the top. I guess you got to go through these guys eventually. But given that you are still the mandatory for the British, so you've got that fight locked in. Where'd the decision come to take such a hard fight? Was it the Saudis who wanted like a really, really competitive fight?
No, it was just I was on a camp away halfway around the world,
Hmm.
and for Antwi, that was for the British, so I wasn't going to do all that with the money we spent and everything else, and the dedication that I've put in, and the sacrifices I've made to just take on a fight that someone who's going to roll over to a
Hmm.
certain degree. So I've got to test myself anyway. And at the end of the day, if I match with Sam Gilly next and he just beat Louis Green and I can't get to Louis, then uh, it's a test at the right time, you know. So it just all
Hmm.
made sense, and I think that's it. You know, I might not have been able to put it to the test yet because I haven't had the right opponents to do it, but I'm a fighting man myself, and I don't turn down fights. So when Louis' name come across the table, we said yeah pretty much straight away.
Oh well, kudos to you, as you said, a real fighting man. There's fighters out there that would have looked to protect their position. Yeah, from that training camp, you said that's been the best of your career so far. Did you work on any particular things? I think even at age 30, it's important to keep improving.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I always like to imagine that I pick up I pick up things each camp, and I've definitely picked up a good few things for this one. and I'm looking forward to showcasing them on Friday. But I'm always learning, even if it's in camp or not in camp. I always look to add to my toolbox. I'm not a guy who's like satisfied where I'm at. Every day's a school day, and you can't know it all. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that's my outlook on fighting.
Obviously, because you came from the MMA background, how much, so you and your coaches, how satisfied are they in terms of your progress, in terms of the boxing technicalities? How much more do they think that you've got that you can learn and improve on?
Oh, loads. As I said, you never know it all, and I think one thing the coaches are happy with is my outlook on it. Is like I'm always looking to learn something new. It's not like, oh yeah, I've got that, or okay, well, I'm good at that, so let's not go over it. Or do you know what I mean? I always look to improve on my weaknesses and bring my game up everywhere I can. So I think if you've got someone who's always looking to improve, like in myself, and you've got like coaches like Martin and who are always looking to bring me up, then it just naturally progresses the right way.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's plenty of room, plenty of room.
Are you someone that sort of watches stuff back yourself, or do, do you find that you work better if you just let your coaches do that and then guide you?
As in my own performances.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'll probably go back and watch a fight a couple of times, and then that's it. I sort of know I was there. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I sort of know what was working and what was not, and what big flaws were there, and what I done well, and everything else. But yeah, I'll just watch it a couple of times, and then we go from there. But it is always a case of like, okay, at the start of the camp, we go, okay, well, in that last fight, you done this good, you done this bad. Let's work on this. This is the big glaring mistakes, and then usually by the end, as long as I've got the big glaring thing that we was after fixing fixed, that's a good step in progression.
Hmm. Like I said, back in Saudi, second time in a row, you were there for the Fury and Garnu undercard. You was one of the first on, so I don't know what the atmosphere was like. Some critics are saying there isn't yet the sort of really passionate atmosphere that you might be used to back home. Is that a factor for you? Does it bother you, or as a fighter, is it like once you're in the ring, the crowd don't matter anyway?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's actually it takes a bit of the pressure off. It's like because you haven't got a load of crazy people screaming and shouting and
Hmm.
I can't imagine anyone's bringing a big crowd over here. So it's good for performance. But as far as the atmosphere goes, I think that well, for one, you can't drink or anything here, so you haven't got a load of piss people
Hmm.
going mad. Um, but no, it's good. It's definitely different, but it's a completely different culture. So it's not going to be like back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. Me, I liked it
Okay.
last time again.
Well, that's fab to hear. Um, I know you don't want to look forward, but again, the super welterweight division, it's so hot domestically and internationally. So it's important for you to keep winning. Like I said, even the British level alone, there's just so many. There's no shortage of hot shots all queuing up to get a piece of you.
Yeah, that's it. I always say that like 70 kg, 11 stone is like the weight of like an average fella. So
Hmm.
that's why the talent pool is so deep. There's just more. There's just more people knocking about. Plus that middle super welterweight. It's like the lads are big enough to have enough power to stop fights, but then they're small enough to keep the speed up and everything. So it is. I think it's the most one of the most exciting divisions, and yeah, there's plenty of tough fights out there.
Yeah, and on the world scene, I know you're a bit away from there, but win a couple of more of these fights, you'll be probably up there. I mean, it's wide open now. It looks like Jamel Charlo gone off the rails a bit, lost. I mean, yeah, he's still the lineal and lineal champ because off the back of his undisputed reign, but he's lost all the belts. Who do you think's the number one now in the division?
I don't even know, because it's like you said there. I'm not one who's obsessed with boxing and sits there and watches it every day, all day.
Hmm.
I just sort of look at where I need to look. So at the minute, because I'm aiming for the British, I'll look at the British level guys more so, and then it's like the likes of Charlo or whatever, who are right up there. I'm not going to be there for a while, so I'd rather put a film on and sit there watching 10 boxing fights on the weekend. So it sort of doesn't really interest me to give an answer, to be honest. So sorry if that's a bad answer, but that's it.
All right. Just finally, though, I've got to ask you because you're probably one of the few fighters best placed to answer the question about the main event. AJ, the boxing former unified heavyweight champ, against Ngannou, the former MMA heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Do you think that one goes?
Well, don't know. I told everyone last time, and no one listened to me. So I'm wasting me breath again. No, I think that my point last time was you can't. I was like, everyone's right, like they seen the video of Ngannou, like everyone gave him no chance anyway, and then they seen the videos of him hitting pads and that, and were like laughing at him and saying, "Is this a joke?" and whatever else. Do you remember? And I was like, "Oh, you can't call it before you see him box until you see him in there doing it. You can't draw a conclusion on it." So, I wasn't surprised by that he performed out his skin in the last one, because he's a man. Before he's an athlete, he's a man who does things that people say he can't, and he's proven that over and over again. So coming into this one now, you've got Ngannou, who's going to believe in himself even more, and he already believes in himself when the whole world was saying last time you've got no chance. Now he's got that, plus the confidence of the last performance, even though he lost, plus people are actually going to believe him and get behind him. So you've got a dangerous Ngannou anyway, with like um extra bonus points on. But then you've got this new AJ who sort of found the old Anthony Joshua, and his last two performances have been amazing. So I do think it's as cliche as it is. This one, it is a real heavyweight fight where I wouldn't be surprised whatever way it goes. I'll put your money on it on AJ, but
Mhm.
but when it's a fight involving Ngannou, won't be surprised anything that happens.
Indeed, yeah. That's what makes it so exciting. But a lot of the fans are really talking about your fight as well. It is got explosions written all over it. So yeah, we can't wait for Friday night. So yeah, Jack, thanks for giving us a bit of your time. I know it's always difficult during fight week. Anything you want to add?
No, mate, just thanks for having me on, and I'll speak to you on the other side after another great night in Riyadh.
Fab. I look forward to hopefully seeing you in Liverpool soon.
Nice one, mate.